Hello everybody, I am Count Christo, and welcome back to Black Ice. Today we're going to press straight on towards trying to take Shanghai. On the political front, we're working towards capturing the glorious city of Prague and its surroundings. Are they running for the port? I hope they're not. I want to kill some of these guys in overruns and pockets and stuff, rather than them all running for the port. It looks like they did run for the port. Let's see if we can let them... Hold. Let's see if we can let them leave it a bit and spread out so that we can take the port and pocket these fools. Just come straight back in, please. Please hold Hangzhou in the south while I focus on this port. Oh, they are all leaving. That's a really undefended port. Go for it. No, let them leave. Sorry, that was foolish. Yeah, I'm going to bait them into an attack, but that could be good because they're at practically 0 org. So one tank goes in, one tank stays. How long until you're there? Not too sure. Support attack in. One infantry, though, we can crush out with our glorious panzers. More and more reinforcements pouring in. It's a problem. But, I mean, if we can make the reinforcements retreat north, that's all fine and dandy. But you're retreating in the wrong direction, so that's unfortunate. The battle for Shanghai is not going to... it's not going to be won easily. Let's put it that way. We could reduce their numbers in this area by letting this guy move out of here and then attacking north. But also try and do a little quick sneaky encirclement of this guy. But we must bear in mind that until these guys arrive, we're not sending small arms steel to... We could send 1,000 infantry coming. No deal. I don't need the political power that badly. Not even close. Alright, now just crush this guy. Awesome. And see what you can do to take Shanghai now. If the Chinese could just wrap up and take this province, that'd be really valuable. No, they're really piling in. Ooh, Hangzhou fell. Okay, let's pull back. Need to retake Hangzhou. Don't want to give them too much supply in this pocket down here. I must say, I'm really looking forward to a war where I control all the infantry. I think it's going to be really fun. When we're actually much more able to be the masters of our own destiny rather than relying on the Chinese to move the men around. Plus, of course, the infantry will be so much better because there won't be all of these militia everywhere. Now let's have a look. This is a defensive... I can't spell for the life of me, by the way, in case you don't know that about me. Defensive. The Def Inf. This is defensive infantry, Mark 1. So, for higher defense, they don't need to move, so we can basically get rid of the reconnaissance battalions. Replace them with... support anti-tank, maybe? Could be good. Get some piercing in there. 0.1 piercing. Wow. I can see why these need upgrading. But yeah, we can throw in like some support anti-air, support anti-tank. Maybe some motorized support anti-tank. That's still only 0.1 piercing. These guys are this is trash. But they'll be upgraded. So we could do something like this. And yeah, the cavalry recon can be replaced by... I don't want to make them too expensive. Like, motorized seems a bit expensive. Some support anti-air. It's relatively cheap. And then it's going to have some, a little bit of air attack. Well, we already had quite a lot of air attack. What was that coming from? Remove the support anti-air for a second. Where's all your anti-air attack coming from? Is it just infantry has air attack? Yeah, infantry has air attack. Oh, cool. I'm not sure about this. Like, maybe just throwing in the air attack could be good. And then what? We could switch these out for, like, militia. Makes it a lot cheaper. Or even garrisons. But that means we're going to have to start doing, like, garrison research. We have to produce garrison equipment. I think we keep it as it is. I think we don't build a defensive one. But maybe we build a fast one. This is fast inf 1. So for that, we get rid of like the heavy artillery, and we throw in a like a motorcycle recon battalion, and we take out maybe even the corpse artillery as well, and we throw in an armored car recon, making them a lot more expensive. 3%, that 300 is practically a 10% increase. Now the artillery are very slow, so we could swap them out for motorized artillery. And that's going to bring up its speed. Motorized artillery. That should bring up its speed substantially, right? Oh, no, because these are all still slow. But then we could change the infantry to light infantry, which I think have a higher base speed. Let's have a check. Why at the very top is it asking me to do it this way, but then the others, it just automatically already goes into the subsection of battalions? I'm not sure why it's doing that. So that would increase its speed to 4.2, which is pretty nice. Plus the extra buff from this, plus the removal of the debuff from some of the slow artillery. Is any of the rest of this real slow? Like field hospitals, are you slow? No. This could be good. It's 31 combat width now, which is a pain. So I guess we drop one of these. So soft attack has gone down. Oh, Jesus. But the idea of these is just a run. Yeah, okay. Forget this idea. 300 defense slower. My thinking with these was they could just rush in and fill gaps, but it looks like that's just not doable with the infantry divisions, because their stats just go to heck. They were quite a bit cheaper though. Yeah. Alright, well let's try something else. Let's try instead okay, we'll start with the Panzer Division template. Let's try instead just a mechanized battalion. So for comparison, infantry battalions cost, let's say, 4,000. Okay, so if we just made a full mechanized, where are mechanized? Mobile battalions. Mechanized. Mobile battalion. Mechanized. And removed some of these. No, remove some of these. To get down to about 30. These are one width, right? Yes, so I added another one of those. So this costs a little over double an infantry battalion, but it's got 6 speed, high defense, high soft attack. This is pretty good. Sorry, I forgot to do this. Duplicate and then switch to the mechanized. Like this is quite tempting to me as a gap filler. So we have these guys, you know, they're a lot more expensive. There's more manpower in them than the tanks as well. 9,000. Oh, right, I think I had... and mechanized are actually more expensive than motorized artillery, I think. I think last time we had a bit less mechanized. Oh, I didn't mean to reset. Oh well, switch to mechanized. Now, so that's one option. Sorry, I don't think I explained very well why on earth I'm doing all this. As you've seen, the tanks push in and then they get pushed back. And that's a big problem because of their low defense. Whereas this has 300, this is twice as high defense. 100% increase on defense. Which seems very valuable to me. For essentially, tanks make the hole, mechanized fill the hole. And they do have lower org, but it's not terrible. And they got decent stats. They're just so expensive. Well, let's save this. This is a mech. This is mech 1. Let's save that. We've got lots of arming experience right now, so I don't feel bad about spending that. They are cheaper than a Panzer division, but not by much. So what about if we made it motorized? How much worse would it be if it was motorized instead? Let's find out. Or even cav or semi-motorized. Maybe might be enough. Because all they have to do is plug the hole for a brief period. It's not much cheaper. It's a bit cheaper. It's like 20% cheaper. It's also quite a lot worse. And the thing is, they don't have to be that cheap because the mechanized only have to plug the hole for long enough for the infantry to move in and hold it. So the kind of 3 waves of attack are the armoured units breakthrough, mechanized hold while the infantry come in, and then the infantry hold from there on. So yeah, let's build some mechanized. We're gonna need a new division template. Sorry, division icon. There we go. Awesome. Excuse me. This one, please. Update. Awesome. So we're gonna build some mech. I think that seems cool and valuable too. Right. Well, we spent a little while on that. Back to actually warring here. Oh, some people leaving Hangs out. We can't push against 3 infantry divisions in a fortified coastal town, unfortunately. I don't think we can anyway. Shanghai might be open. We can break them here and they retreat this way. We might be able to grab Shanghai at long last. We'll give it a go. It's tough to break them in these mountains, but we're getting there. Let's resume the attack. We got loads of reinforced rate, so it shouldn't be a problem. We should get straight back in. Yeah. What was that? I missed it. God, what did I just invent? Was that better? It looked like better personnel carriers or something. Is it these? I'm sorry, I don't know what I invented. Possibly, it looked like a vehicle. Well, it's not saying, you know, lack of production or something's out of date, so I guess we just carry on with our lives. I'm sure you can yell at me in the comments if it's like if it was super important. These are now no longer ahead of time. Great. So let's go for these. 2% output on these, but 1% extra factory vulnerability. Let's go with what should we start with? Yeah, just straight up org buff. Sounds good. There's an argument to be made that after we've taken this phase of Czechoslovakia, we should just hold off for a minute. Resolving the Polish dilemma. We could go for a peaceful Danzig. Give us a bit more time. I don't know what we have to give up for peaceful Danzig. In vanilla, you have to give up Slovenia, which we can't get before we own central Poland, so it's obviously not that. Okay, here is our first major ground attack unit, right? No, this is our first major air fighter. Okay, so we're going to start... Do we want to start researching this now? We could use... Yeah, we could just build these ones as the actual main ones. Let's do that. We'll have a small air force, but it'll be super high-tech. I like that. I think that makes sense. Still banging out these factories. It's the resource situation. We're over on oil. That's excellent news. I think it's a good time just to spend a bit banging out more military factories. Maybe we should have built a lot more civilian factories, and it's quite possible, even likely. We should have built a lot more civilian factories this game. But there's just so many different types of equipment. But now that our production efficiency is going up to 76% with that advanced machine tools, it's so nice. Okay, fall of Shanghai, hopefully. Result in some serious Japanese casualties around here. Let's wipe out the cav in the south first, just so they don't harass us. Okay, good. Now up into the north. They attacked us, which means the counter will be all the more effective. And straight on to Siamo, or however you say that. Hold off for a second. Let our guys reorg a bit. We should be able to break them here, especially with serious Chinese support. It's tough though. Our 600 breakthrough is really helping. Can I send you more divisions yet? No, of course I can't. It's limited by my number of divisions, and my divisions are never going to deploy because they need stupid amounts of anti-tank. You know what we should do? We should prioritize deployment over reinforcement, and I can't believe I didn't think of that earlier. So we'll put all our current anti-tank into deploying more guys rather than reinforcing existing ones. That way we can actually get some more manpower in the field. So dumb of me not to have thought of that earlier. Oh well. Japanese army embraces Nashinron. Nashinron, what is this? The doctrine... Yeah, it's the doctrine that they basically needed to count. They had to go to war with the Allies, because otherwise they were doomed, because they didn't have the oil. Or the rubber. Or the capacity to generate their own. Looks like we finally managed to repel... Oh god. That's real dangerous. Well, we're going to wrap up here. We're going to come down here and we're going to try and see what we can do there. Excellent. Excellent. They've retaken the city. Good. All those extra Japanese casualties. Nice. 200,000. Obviously, there were casualties happening in other places as well, but yeah, I think we can take credit for a fair amount of those. Get yourselves down here. You are urgently needed to prevent them from consolidating these 2 pockets. And then we'll probably come up from the south, work on cutting off and destroying this port first, wiping out some of these guys maybe by taking up here. This is just hills, right? No, that is mountains. That's going to be a problem. We can come up here, hills, 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 cut off these guys. But first, let's just kill this tendril so that they don't connect. Looks like China is doing an okay job of it on their own. The north is still entirely static as far as I can tell. In fact, I think the communists might have gained a little bit of ground. Man, I'm looking forward to the next HOI DLC. It's going to be so good. 8th of March is when Waking the Dragon. Sorry, Waking the Tiger comes out. It's going to be really good fun. All the cool new Chinese stuff. I'm really looking forward to border conflicts. They sound like they're going to be awesome. Alright, let's crush in here. Here. Fate of Czechoslovakia. The end of Czechoslovakia is at hand, and our forces are marching into Prague at this very moment. With the surrender of the Czechoslovakian military, we have liberated vast quantities of armaments. Their tanks in particular should serve our forces well. Bromhen was annexed into Germany as a protectorate. Sorry, will be annexed into Germany as a protectorate. What is Bromhen? Is that a region of... maybe that means Bohemia in Germany? In German? Bromhen will be annexed in Germany as a protectorate. What should become of Slovakia? We can set up as an autonomous puppet under Joseph Tiso. Not to be confused with Joseph Tito. Loses good Anglo relations. Opinion of the United Kingdom. Loses good Anglo relations. Okay. Partition Czechoslovakia with Hungary. We get design access to Czech armor. Reduce ahead of time penalty by 200%. Or gives a 100% research bonus for those extra Panzer Kampfwagen. Or set them up as a puppet state, or all of it belongs to the Reich. And I can't imagine why you wouldn't just do this. Well, I mean, I can, if you were really hurting with political power. But honestly, like, all of it belongs to the Reich. So, yeah, sorry about that, but it's just the truth. We need all the land we can get. I don't mean the actual truth. Stay calm, demonetization. Alright, Waffen SS. No, we're not doing that, because it's all silly. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, no. And this all, I mean, you should only do this once you're at war, as far as I can tell. Because it gives you, like, temporary bonuses to stuff. This kind of seems like what they're doing with the red phone mechanic in the next patch. The Nazi secret project stuff, like, it's just weird. I don't understand it, so we're not going to do that. We've got plenty of stuff to do with our focuses. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And these are too specific. Far too specific, these buffs. More forts? Yeah, that seems quite valuable. Autobahn, though, generally seems pretty useful. Just a bit more infrastructure everywhere. Some anti-air. This is pretty cheap anti-air. Maybe might be time to start thinking about doing that. We could do with some land forts. How high are the forts already, though? Like, they're already level 4. That's really good. But yeah, go on, let's do the massive Westwall forts. I think it said it might put them up here as well. We'll see. Question of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. Put the squeeze on them. Czechs must be protected from themselves. Darn right. So where are we going to put all our troops right now? I guess it's time to start arraying them in a kind of endgame style setup. So we're going to put some over here. And we're going to put some over here. And I'm really realizing how few infantry we have as I speak. We need to seriously ramp up infantry production, which is what we're doing with our prioritization towards these. And yes, any new infantry can go on the Polish line. Should we be training these guys? I feel like until I'm happy... Oh, we actually do have a spare panzer in here. I didn't realize. Do we have any more? No. Okay, well, the spare panzer can sit here. Ready for a kind of lightning breakthrough up here. Cut off this Poznan area. Establish the Poznan pocket. There'll be no long hold in the Battle of Poznan in this war, ideally. Okay, so we'll let those guys go to their places. And I'm pretty sure these two won't won't just join the Allies without me attacking them. They're actually going depillarize Dutch society. That's pretty funny. So they're going to go fascist then? Right? I think. But anyway, until they start actually looking like they're going to go against us. What are you doing? Coalition government. Liberty. They're just going to go deterrence. They're not going, you know, unite against fascism, join the Allies. Good. So we don't have a problem from Belgium. So we don't need to worry about deploying men here, basically, until we've taken up Poland and we want to go around the Maginot. Which, you know, we will do. I'm not gonna mess with that. That historical plan seems pretty useful. Pretty good. So, we have some supply issues out here, but that's fine because we've just finished taking this tile. So, can we take this straight up? No. Okay, well, maybe we should go after the southern guys. It's so mountainous down here, though. Let's just go one little push against the southern guys. So we can take here, kill these guys. Just to really broaden this gap. And you Chinese guys better hold Shanghai. Like, I'll be mad. I fought and bled for Shanghai. Beautiful German tanks were destroyed to destroy Shanghai. You should get a different icon, because you are Cav. We should name our theatres. How haven't I named my theatres yet? Okay, this is... I'm not going to be that imaginative. If you come up with ideas, by the way, for the theatres, I'm open for them. This is the main theatre. Is that how you spell theatre? I'm not sure it is. The main force. And this is, yeah, volunteers is fine for them. But yeah, we can have a new theatre for, this is MPs. Military police. Cool. And we'll probably have separate military police armies for... Well, maybe not. I'm not sure. We'll see. Crash in here, even with low org, we can take out one division. Oh, nice! We're pocketing some of their tanks, which even though they only have like a single, like what was that, a mixed tank cav unit or something, still. Every Japanese division we can encircle and destroy is invaluable to our war effort at this stage. Well, our war effort. Chinese war effort, really. But hey, it's a cause we have adopted as our own. For the purposes of, you know, fun. Essentially. Sorry, Japan. Light aircraft level 3, Panzer level 7, artillery level 5, small arms level 14. And the Panzer, okay. So we can form these. It gives us technology. Okay, now this one is different. This isn't cheating because, important to players, you need to have researched Panzer IV, research for the 6 and 7 events. I don't care because I'm not that fussed about these events. But we should do this because what we're essentially doing is seizing Czech technology. Right? Now, was that a useful tech? Like this one, I think. Oh, these Panzer 1s. These might be Panzer 1s. Let's start a production line of them so we can look. Are you Panzer 1s? I don't know how I can tell. I'm not sure if I can tell. Amusingly enough. But anyway, it shouldn't matter because we're going to stop using Panzer 1s, I hope, once we finish this tech. Right, but the division... Well, maybe we don't need to delete the division. Because, yeah, like I said, this is seized Czech equipment, is the idea behind it. And that, you know, that I can accept. So you switch over to an actual Panzer division and go join the Panzer Army. And if they go green, then we'll just disband them anyway. Okay, with the glorious annexation of Czechoslovakia, this nice little noodly appendage down into Southeast Europe here, and the fantastic recapturing of Shanghai, that's going to be the end for this episode. Looks like a big offensive in the north. Is that a Chinese or a Japanese offensive? It's a big Chinese offensive. Interesting. Well, better luck to them. Anyhow, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.